Okay, good morning, everybody. I think I'm a little bit late this morning, which is unusual, right? Well, I've been here, it's just that the network in my office has been very, very somehow. Now, when I say somehow in Nigeria, you understand what it means? So I had to switch to my mobile, that's personal hotspot. So yeah, I was hoping that the network in the office, which is the little bit of, which is even more advanced than my own fiber, be able to carry the day, but unfortunately it didn't. So, but we good now. So, I mean, and of course, I want to welcome all of you. I'll be looking at the names before I share my screen. I'll be looking at the names of people that are here already waiting for me to begin the class. And of course, this class is Rally Academy's class. That's Rally Academy's MMR, which is the Money Market Review. That's the meaning of MMR. So if you have been looking for the meaning of MMR, it's actually Money Market Review. Now, we do this every day, Mondays through Friday. And what we basically do is to analyze the market and, talk about the trend possibly, and of course, see what we can do together to make money. So I'm going to be sharing my screen shortly, which is the MT4 screen that I'm using today, which is the one I used last week. So I would like to continue from there. Now, sharing my screen straight away so that all of us can see what I'm looking at. So this is what I'm looking at, right? So I'm going to go to, hold on, let me see if I can minimize this one. I'm going to close all these pages. Okay, so this was what we did last week. All right, so, and then I think some of the trades are seeing profit. Maybe some of them have not gone deeper into profit. For example, this Euro USD would have gone deep into profit, but because I didn't take profit on the trade, it didn't quite, sit well. You can see that the price actually went down to as much as about 12,000 in profit, or maybe 11,000 in profit there, but I didn't collect it because I didn't put it profit. So right now I'm going to just close the trade and then we'll begin today's phone. As well, the Euro Pound also, I'm sure that it actually went deep into profit also, but of course I didn't actually put the profit on it. What I did on that one was simple. I actually used sell limit, okay, on this template. Remember the template I was using last week? I used the limit of this one, so it actually triggered a sell at around here, okay, and then it went deep into profit like so. But because I didn't put the profit also, about 30 something pips, it didn't quite, sit well. So I'm going to still leave it for a bit, or then I'm going to leave it for a bit, okay, to see if it will actually go back to profit. Or maybe I should just close it because the market is beginning to change direction right now to buy. Okay, so based on the signature you are seeing on the screen, the market is beginning to change direction and possibly go to the upside. So I might want to accept my loss now, and the loss is very simple. It's just less than $1. Okay, so I'll just close it. Then we'll begin today's program. I'm going to just clean the chart again and then look at some other instrument that I would like to look at today. Okay, sure. And then we can look at USDCHF. We can look at USDJPY. We can look at USD CAD. We can look at, let's check. We can look at USDJPY. That's still on that currency. We can look at, let's see, CAD CHF. I've not looked at it for a while, but we can look at it. Okay. And then we can look at wheat. Okay. We can look at possibly cocoa. Okay, we can look at still looking US 2000, that's under indices. We can look at gold. Okay, gold will be under commodity. And then we can look at crude oil also. That's oils. Okay, that will still be under commodity. And then we'll look at US 100, we'll look at US 30. Okay. We look at US 500 if possible. I want to see if we can if we can touch as many as possible, T40 or so. And oh, sorry. I didn't actually show up, right? Okay. T40. And then we can look at, I don't know. So I think I've opened quite some number of instruments this morning. There are many. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let me do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 instruments that I've opened today that we can look at. So basically, the one I'm looking at right now, which is oil, is not the one I will start from. So let me start from currency side, Euro USD. Now, I don't know. I think I've not mentioned people's name, but don't think there's need for that. But of course, I've seen my guy A1. His name is Wisdom. Okay, so thank you very much, Wisdom. I had a great weekend. Thank you very much for the greetings. Good morning, and of course, okay, so I think those are the people that greeted me this morning. So I greet you all. Greet you all once again. And of course, I think we have more than 50 people in the house now. So it's a good place to start. So if you're just joining us, this is the morning market review. And of course, your anchor, still myself and I, Olusegun is my name. And then now I will start with Euro USD by looking at a template I just kind of like these days. I know I've not shown you this template, so I'm going to go to D1. This will tell me what to do to Euro USD. So for Euro USD, I'm looking to sell. Really, I'm looking to sell. Okay, so I'll tell you the reason why. For parabolic SARS, it is currently on a sell direction. That's giving us a circle. And then, given the fact that I have this indicator on the screen, okay, and of course, it's telling me that the price will go down. So I'm going to go a little bit to H4 and see if I have something I can work with. Okay, so I have something I can work with on H4 also. So because of this information, I'm now going to go to a little bit of other indicators to check if, since this one is giving me sell signal, let me go to other indicators like this, see if it is a sell. Yeah, it is. This one is also telling us to sell on H4. Let's look at H1. On the H1 front, it is telling us not to sell on the H1 front, even though it is still not a valid signal for buy, but it's beginning to give us kind of like a buy. Let's go a little bit lower to M30, still not giving us a instant buy execution yet. So I'm going to go to M15. This one already gave a buy signal. Okay, that's on the 15 minutes front. But the daily chart is telling us that the price will go down. The 4 hours is telling us that the price will go down. The 1 hour is not, it's like in between, not telling us to buy, not telling us to sell. So since the H4 and D1 is telling us to sell, what I will do is that I'll wait on the 1 hour front for a sell opportunity, or even 15 minutes front for a sell opportunity. But since I don't have the sell opportunity yet, I'll wait. So for Euro USD, I'll just fold my arms and not place a trade today, at least not in a hurry. Okay. So that's for Euro USD. That means I'm not going to be on any trade now. So I'm going to go to Euro Pound and check again from top to, that's the monthly time frame analysis from D1. So the D1 front, I'm going to go to here and check with this indicator. Of course, this indicator is also telling me that the price will go down. So if it is so, I can now go to H4 and check also. This one is also telling me that price is in the range, not going down, not going up. So because of that, I'm still going to stick with D1 and check with this indicator. This one is telling me that price on this H4 time frame may not go down. All right. What about H1? That the price could go up, right? M30, that the price could go up. Okay. And of course, M15, that the price actually could go up. So what I'm going to do for this Euro Pound is that I'm going to do what we call pending order. Okay, the price could go up. That's what I'm seeing. I'm not 100% sure because the daily time frame is telling me that the price will go down technically. So, but the M15 is telling me that the price will go up, at least for a bit. That the price could actually move to the upside for a bit. So what I'm going to do is to go to M15 and see if I can find a range, okay, or a level of resistance that I can work with. So I'm going to go to here and do this kind of. So this area that I painted is the area between 0.8529 and 0.8534. You might want to write that one down. You might want to write down that price down. So the area painted is the block between 0.8529 and 0.8534. If you are listening to me, you might want to write that price down. That's the area that I feel that the price, when it begins to close in that region, the price could actually go up. So if you are seeing candles on this 15 minutes time frame, closing between and especially above, let me give you kind of like a price, especially above 0.8531, okay? Once you are beginning to see candles on 15 minutes, let me repeat, on euro pound now, you're beginning to see candles close above 0.8531 on 15 minutes time frame. So you can go to your 15 minutes time frame on euro pound, that's euro GBP, and then you set your time frame on 15 minutes candles, and then you begin to watch candles today, not tomorrow, today. Okay, and then the candles now begin to close above 0.8531. You can actually place a trade back. That's what I'll tell you. Okay. Otherwise, if the price continues to close down, then that's if it is not closing above the region I just told you, then you can now go back to your D1 and begin to see if the effect of that sell will persist. But as of now, the price looks likely to move to the upside, all right, on the 15-minute time frame. That said, I'm going to go to comment section and check what people are saying. So somebody is saying that they has never seen me use RSI indicator. Well, it's not as if I don't use it. I use it. It's just that, I use it for a different purpose. Okay, so for example, if I see what the condition where I use RSI is simple. If I see a trend persisting for a very long time, especially on the currency pair, I'll tend to want to go to RSI and use it. So for example, let's see if you can look at this same euro pound to buttress what you just said. Let me go to, so on this 15 minutes time frame, on euro pound, I'm going to go to RSI. Oh, where is RSI? Oh, so let's look at it. But of course, I use RSI. So I'm going to go to Clean and Do and insert RSI so that you can see the way I use it. So I'm going to go to here and go to oscillators, go to RSI. Okay, and of course, I use default. I don't want to use default on some of these oscillators. So now, as it is now, there is nothing I can do about this one because it's not giving me a vibe. Okay, it's not giving me a vibe. So what I normally do with RSI and stochastic is that I look at the trend of the price and the trend of the RSI. Okay, so as it is now, the trend of the price is moving in consonant with the trend of the RSI, especially on the lows. What I mean by that is if you look at these lows, it's actually rising up. Okay, and then if you look at the lows of the RSI also, it's actually on the same region, it's actually rising up. So as far as this one is concerned, this trend is still intact because it's mostly going to be an uptrend on this 15-minute chart. That's why I use RSI. But like you said, it's not one of those indicators that can tell me at a glance, okay, what I want to see. It's difficult to actually analyze, tell what RSI will say. That's why I don't use it much. Rather, for me to use, instead of me to use RSI, I would rather use stochastic. Stochastic is actually better for me compared to RSI. Okay, so if I clean the chart again now and then I insert stochastic, you see, that this one is actually better for me, even though they look similar, but this one tells me when to buy and when to sell. So, for example, now, here is when I would have clicked on buy around this level. Okay, that's when the stochastic was crossing each other. Okay, it gives me at a glance that I could buy another region. All right, so that's how I use RSI. Instead of RSI, that's how I use stochastic. So stochastic is better for me to use than RSI. Of course, remember, I don't have to use all indicators on the chart. So choose the one I want, the one that is comfortable for me. Okay, so Kalu, good morning. Anatoly, good morning. So can you please enlighten us more on time frames uses, especially when they give contradiction direction, please? Adetunji, very good question. So the question he's asking, everybody, listen to. Adetunji is asking an important question. He said I should enlighten all of us here in this forum more on time frame usage. Okay, time frame usage, especially when they give contradiction when it comes to direction. For example, now I was talking about euro pound, okay, and I said on the D1, okay, based on the indicator I have here, I have this indicator, okay, and on the D1 front, the indicator is telling me that the price will go down. Why? Because I see from this level up, I begin to see this bearish candle, and then there's this parabolic SAR on top of the candle. So anytime parabolic SAR switch to the top of a candle, it means that the candle could actually go down. So from this level, from this region down, the price could actually go down. And since I'm still seeing all these indicators being red and red, means that the price can still go down. That's on the D1. But by the time I switch to M15, the story is different. Okay. And of course, since I'm not going to use M15 on that time frame, on that indicator, I'll just come to this one, which is simpler, and use. So what this indicator is telling me is that the price could actually go up. Okay. So, and now I'm only to buy when the price break a new resistance, which will be this region. All right. This region will be my new resistance region. That's why I said, based on what I know, based on what this indicator is saying, anytime price begin to close between and above 0.85311 or 312, thereabout, when you can put crosshair on your chart, you can put a horizontal line on your chart. And of course, you now begin to check whether candle are beginning to close above a region. Then you can now begin to look for a buy opportunity. Okay, maybe an instant execution, or a buy limit or a buy stop, anyone can the carry today when it comes to that. So when they give contradiction like that, okay, what you do, especially now that I've told you that the D1 will go down and the H4 is mixed, really. So the H4 is beginning not to sound the same way with D1. Just that when the D1 was saying the price will go down at around this level, I'm going to just click on the vertical line and drop around here. So this when the indicator tells us that the price will go down. And by the time you look at the H4, it's already moved down. Okay, so it means that the price possibly have done what the D1 suggested, and now the H4 is no longer responding to that request. So because the H4 is now beginning to turn around, and it appears that this red line on this H4 is about to cross above the black line. If it cross above, then the trend is no longer down. Okay, that's why you have the contradiction on H4. And once the H4 and the D1 does not align, what you need to do is that you need to now begin to go back to M15 and look for a contradiction also. So if this one gives me a direction for buy, I'll take it. Otherwise, I'll stay off. All right. So let's go to the next one, which will be USD CHF. I'm going to go to here and go to this indicator to check on the D1 front what the price is saying. So this one is telling me that the price will go up. Okay, so, and of course, on the, let me put a value into that. This one begins to say that the price will go up from around here. Now, I'm going to go to H4 and check if the direction is still the same. Well, the direction is still the same on the H4. That means the price is still very much, kind of like, look like something that could go up. So I'm going to go to here and check these breakouts. Okay, so they are still singing almost the same song, right? So I'm going to now go to H1, but this one is singing something different. In fact, this one is telling me that the price will go down. So even on the H4 front, it is telling me that the price could actually go bearish, right? Contradiction. So I'm going to go to M30 to check, still bearish. M15, now about to go bullish. So what I'm going to do to this one is that I'm going to stick with H1. And then I'm going to click on new order. Okay. And then I will sell. That's what I will do on the USD. I'll do an instant execution. And then I will, go to maybe target like 10, 20 pips. And then stop loss is going to be above a resistance, which will be here. And it would also be here, could be here. So you have about 3 options for stop loss today. So option 1, I'm going to just click on this and type SL1. That's stop loss area 1. So this is stop loss area that you can use. And you can also use this stop loss area, though it's larger, but it's safer. So I'm going to call it stop loss area 2. Of course, you can also use this top one, stop loss area 3. So the stop loss area 3 is the safest, but it's also the riskiest. Okay. So the stop loss area 1 gives the best buy. Okay, for people like us that don't want to risk much. You could just gather your strength and use that area as your stop loss. So any price above 0.8295, something could be good for stop loss. All right. So that's what I'm going to do on USDCHF. I'm actually basing my assertion on the structure of my indicator. I trust this indicator 90% of time, okay, to give me value. So that's why I'm actually entering a sell. And of course, I'm having a very tight stop loss that accompanies that. So I'm going to go to the next one. No much question on that one, please. Okay. This is asking, sir, what should I do when moving average is showing signal to buy and RSI is showing overbought? What time frame are you looking at? Eddie? What instrument are you looking at and what time frame? You can look at it together and see if what you're saying is something. But if the RSI is already showing overbought, I don't think you should buy, even if the moving average is showing buy. That's what I would tell you. Because RSI could be very strong. So don't buy. That's what I can tell you. But then if you give me the time frame and the instruments you're looking at, we can actually look at it together now. So that we can learn. All of us can learn. I'm going to go to USDJPY. Go to D1 and then start with this indicator and then adjust my chart. This one is telling me that the price could go down. All right. The price could go down. So based on this information, I'm going to click on here, drop this to top of this guy. So I'm going to go to H4 to check that the price will go down also. So for this one, I'm going to just go to here and use my indicator. This one is still telling me that the price will go up. This one call that the price will go down. This one call that the price will go down. This one call that the price will go down also. So a lot of information, especially on 1 hour chart, that the price will go down. So I'm going to also click on new order on this one and sell. Okay, so I'm going to also put my stop loss above a region, okay, that is a little bit of near resistance. I call it near resistance zone. And I'm going to put my take profit to about 10-20 pips down. 10-20 pips down. So that's what I would do for USDJPY. Then for USD CAD, I'm going to go to D1 also and check what the price is saying. I'm going to go to, first of all, let me start with this. On the D1. On the D1 front, this one is telling me that price will go up. On the D1 front, this one is telling me that price will go up right here, from here, that the price could actually move to the upside. So that said, it means that I'll be waiting on the 4 hours front to see if an opportunity will come for me to buy. Okay, I've not seen one, but if I now go to this template, okay, and I check, this one is still not telling me to buy yet. And what about 1 hour? Not buy yet. 30 minutes, is not yet. 15 minutes, not yet. So I'm going to stay off for this USD card. I will not place a buy or sell. I'll just stay off and wait in 1 hour for signal. I'm going to go to comment section again and check. So the instrument was last week. It has passed. Okay, thank you very much. Victor Dejo is asking me to look at D40. When we get there, we have it on the screen. When we get there, so is there a double top on weekly and daily time frame on GBPUSD? I've been on a sell since last week, Wednesday. It's asking if there's a double top on GBP USD on the weekly and daily time frame. Let's look at GBP USD, even though I don't have it on the list because we asked for it. I will just pause a little bit and go back to GBP USD. And then I'm going to go to daily time frame and go to candles just to see what you're saying. So do you call this one double top? I don't know. Let me put an arrow on it first. Double top is usually equal. Usually equal. This one does not look equal. Okay. But then we'll still say it is. Okay, let's look at the weekly chart. Okay, so on the weekly chart, yes. On the weekly chart, the answer is yes. On the weekly chart, it's a double top. But we're now beginning to see, let's now check this one with Bollinger Band. Okay, this is a very sweet one. Very good. So it means that this one could actually go down. That's what it means. So this price could go down. Right. So let's now go to H4 or sorry, D1. Check. This price will go down. So let's go to H4. Check. All right. So it's beginning to go down on H4. Let's now check with this one. Okay, this is a very good one on H4. Of course, H1 is a very good one also. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to just do that and click on new order. So this one looks good to go down. Okay, based on the information we have on the screen. On the weekly chart, it's double top. Even on this H1 also, we have seen double top also. You know, like even though it's bent a little bit, but it's still double top. Okay, we have one here. We have another one somewhere there. So technically, GBP USD could go down. Technically, GBP USD could go down. Of course, thank you very much for that, Eddie. And of course, don't forget that the take profit could be anywhere you want to put it. The stop loss should be, please zoom in, since we're going to be using this H1. You could use this area as stop loss, but it's very close. I don't like it. Okay, because we are looking at H4 for kind of like direction. Okay, so I think the stop loss should be above the worst case scenario, should be above there, should be above this region. Worst case scenario, stop loss should be above this region. Let me just, excuse me, paint this part. So the stop loss should be above this region. For it to be effective, it should be above this region. But I think the best fit for stop loss is going to be this high. Okay. Remember, this is just analysis. It doesn't, mean that I'm telling you financial advice by yourself. We're just 100% analyzing, okay, to see what is the possible fit for this kind of structure on the chart. All right. So I've already put my stop loss above a structure high or the neck region, which is this zone. Okay. That's where I put my stop loss above. All right. So, and of course, I hope that this price will actually go down and give me some money. All right. So thank you very much for that. What's your name again? Let me check your name for giving us that notification, Eddie, right? Okay, so I'm going to go to the next one on this list, which will be GBP-JPY. So on the GBP-JPY front, we are looking at, first of all, let me check with this indicator. Put on D1. So the D1 front, this one is still telling us that the price will go down. Okay, let's mark that from here. Price will go down. Okay, so that means there's an exhaustion. That means the price has moved up, and of course, the buyers are exhausted. Okay, so which means that sellers can creep in. Now, let's look at the H4 front. Good one. So this price could still go down on the H4. So I'm going to just click on new order, jump into a sell without asking much question. I'm going to also put my stop loss above structure high, and then my take profits will be somewhere below. Okay, I can also, if I like, I can, initiate trailing stop if I choose, of course, and all that. So I'm going to go to the next one, which will be CAD-JPY. I'm going to go to D1 front and check with indicator. And then I'm going to go to this one. Also says that the price will go down on the daily time frame. Okay, on the daily time frame, price looks good to go down. So I'm going to come and jump in here. And then I'm going to click on H4 to check. Okay, also that the price could go down. Well. So I'm going to be careful with this one. I'll go to H1, check with my signature indicator. So for this one, I'm going to do, I'm going to just do limit order. Okay, I'm going to just come around here in between this mount and do limit order on that one. So, and I think that's what I would do for this one. Okay, I don't want to jump into sell, even though the price looks good to go down, right? I don't want just to jump into sell for that one. Okay, so let's go to the wheat. Wheat now. Wheat, well, wheat is beginning to show sign that the price will go up. So if you're a wheat trader, you might want to look at buying when the price breaks the structure high. So when the price breaks the structure high, it means that the price that's around 550 USD. So you might want to look to buy straight away. So that's as simple as that is. So let's look at cocoa now. Cocoa has actually given us kind of like a structure bottom, this region. So which means that this price of cocoa could also appreciate. But let's look at it from this angle. What is this one saying? Well, the price has not given us a buy signal yet on cocoa, so you might want to just stay off. Remember, we already have kind of like a structure bottom on this one, so we're looking to buy, but there's no buy signal yet, so wait. On the gold front, well, I don't know what to tell you on gold, but based on the structure of candles on D1, okay, gold can still be bullish. Okay, so but I actually wanted to check something on gold. I want to see if it's back to the structure. No, not yet. So I was hoping that gold will get to this level. Okay, I was hoping that gold will come back for support, but it has not really come back to that. So gold still has room to cover. It can still come back to 3121. Okay, so if it does that, then I'll begin to buy. But there's already signals for buy on the screen. Okay, based on the information we have. Let me go to here. Based on the information we have here, this price will still go up. But I'm not in a hurry to buy. Okay, until the price has really, sit on the structural bottom. Let's look at this one. With H1, this one looks good to buy on H1, really. This one looks good to buy on H1. Just I don't want to pile my account with too many information, but I'll just click on buy on this one. Based on what I've seen on the screen, this price looks good to go up. So I'm going to just, target maybe 10, 20 pips. And of course, I'll put my stop loss below structure low. Okay, that will give me an edge. Okay, and then I'll be waiting for this price to actually see if it can give me some money. So I'm going to just do Control T to see which of my trade is in profit. None. Okay. So all right. So I think I have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trade already running. Okay, so I'm going to go back to close this one and then go to crude oil. Now, on the crude oil front, there was a gap down this morning. So, and then I want to believe that this price will rise and cover this lot. So if you're interested in trading crude oil, you might want to jump into a buy trade and make some money. Okay, but I'm not going to place a buy trade because of my account. My account size is not big enough to actually do a buy. But I think this one will most likely cover this gap today. So you might want to take advantage of that. Otherwise, you want to go with technical and then you wait on a clear buy signal, which is not available right now. So you stay off. I'm going to go to US 2000 straight away indices. So for indices front, we're beginning to see, let me check with this one. I'm not going to place a buy yet. For the US 2000, I'll wait because there's no signal to buy yet. Okay, the price is already up. That's what I mean. So for me to buy, I'll wait for the price to return to support. And one of such support I'll be looking at is the black line. So if the price return to it, I'm not going to jump into a buy. Same with US 100. So until the price returns to the black line, I'm not going to jump into a buy. Same with US 30, most likely. The price return to the black line. Okay, this one returns to the black. Okay, so this one you might want to jump into a buy for this one. But I'm not going to buy it because I don't have enough money in my account to actually execute this trade. on this account. So I will stay off US 30 for now. Same with US 500. I think all of them have the same analysis. All of them have the same analysis. So this one is not even up to the black yet. So you stay off. For the D40 front, this one is even far from the black. So you stay off also. Then for the, I think we have already analyzed the USD. So this is where I will stop analysis on all the instruments that I've opened today. Let me hear from your own end if you want me to look at something different. Of course, I hope you understand some of the analysis I've done today. So let me see questions. If you have questions, you can just throw it in and then we can look at it very fast before we continue. Who has questions? Anybody? Okay, so somebody drop a comment. So somebody said I should look at Euro JPY. Okay, so let's look at Euro JPY together. I'm going to go to here under major. I'm going to pick Euro JPY. Now for the Euro JPY front, I'm going to go to this and then go to T1. This one looks good to sell according to what the information is telling us that this price could actually go down. T1. Now let's go to H4 and check something out. On the H4 front, this price looks good to go down. So I'm going to click on new order, sell. Put my stop loss above there. I take profit somewhere down. Okay, so that's what I'll do on the Euro JPY front. Okay. USD, I'm on the sell. D40, I'm not on any trade. I'm staying off because the price has not gone to support. Let me look at the comment section also to see if somebody drops something different. I've already analyzed D40, a day or job. In fact, it's what you are even looking at. I said, as far as I'm concerned, there's no signal, at least not for now. Okay, so I'm going to go to D saying we are here to have a class with Razvan. It's Razvan, not Razvan. Anyway, I think the class with Razvan is going to be like in 3 weeks' time, not this week, not next week, in 3 weeks' time. So give AUD and then well, you are asking me whether I've emphasized on trend. Hey, I don't know what to tell you. When I see something looks good to go down, right? It means that I'm telling you that the trend is down. When I see something looks good to go up, it means that I'm telling you that the trend is up. It just maybe just the use of English. Okay. When you say something looks good to go down, it means that the trend is down. When something looks good to go up, it means that trend is up. That's what it is. Sorry, pardon me, pardon my English. So somebody say Euro CHF. I'm going to go to majors and see if I can get Euro CHF on this list. It is there. And then I'm going to go to T1, check. Now I'm going to go to this template. Okay. So this one is telling me that the trend might want to go up. But you know, the trend has been down, right? So this trend might want to kill a trend and go up. So because of that, I may be looking to buy. Right? So if I'm looking to buy, from where? Let me zoom in a little bit and check. I may be looking to buy from around here. Okay. So let me now go to H4. But there's no buy signal right now. So I'm going to stay off Euro CHF. So Euro CHF is a no-go area for me today. Maybe tomorrow I'll check again. Somebody say New Zealand JPY. And somebody says US 100. I don't know what you mean by your price is showing something. Having to do with price. GBP AUD and New Zealand JPY. Those are the ones I will look at next before we close. So GBP AUD, let's look for it here. GBP AUD, because I have New Zealand JPY. Let's look at this one, GBP AUD, right? So let's look at these two together very fast. So I have New Zealand JPY, of course I have GBP AUD. Francis is raising his hand. I don't know what he wants to say, but before we attend to it, maybe you can drop your question in the comment. I will read it. So let me click go to here and put on D1 for direction, really. D1 is for direction. So I'm going to go to here. Well, this one is not showing me much. It's not showing me much on the direction front. And based on what we have here, this price is just in between. Okay. It's not showing a strong bearish trend, and it's not showing a strong bullish trend. So it's just a mix of trend for the D1 front. But on the H4, it's telling us that it's a circle to sell. So what we're going to do is to look out for a sell opportunity on this one. Let's say maybe 1 hour time frame with this indicator, which is even telling us that it's a buy. Okay, on the 1 hour time frame, not a buy yet. 30 minutes, not buy yet. 15 minutes, mixed. So I think for this New Zealand JPY, I will just stay off. There's no clear direction for New Zealand JPY, and I don't want to get it wrong. I don't want to lead you into what you don't want to do. So I'll just stay off New Zealand JPY. For GBP AUD, obviously AUD is winning. Obviously, even without looking at much of the candles, you see this strong bearish trend on GBP AUD on our front. But let's look at something on G1. Sell strongly, strong sell on the D1. On the 4 hours, that we should stay off, right? Okay, and then on the 1 hour, that we should look to buy. So what I'm going to do is to go ahead and indicator to check. And well. This one is also very confusing, right? Very, very confusing. So what we can do is to check with Bollinger Band, see if we can actually place a trade. We zoom in and then we check. Okay, so with Bollinger Band, yeah, good, but we need clearance. So what we can do is to wait above this zone for a buy. So write this price down for GBP AUD. For whoever dropped this request should write this down. So 2.05609. That price. You write it down, then you put a cross like a horizontal bar on your screen like this, whether it's a phone or laptop, and then you wait on your 1 hour front. If you see candle close above it, if you see candle, because that's a resistance price. If you see candle close above it, you can buy. That's what I'll tell you on this one. So if you see candle close above 20, anytime price begins to close above it on 1 hour chart, 2.05609. Anytime price close above that region, you can jump in and buy. Which means that the price could actually go up and give you about maybe 10-20 pips, and then you can close it and then move forward. So that's where I will stop this morning. It's going to be a very short class. Okay, so any other question? Anybody want to ask me a question? If there's no question, I want us to please stop here and then go ahead and begin to execute some of those trades that I've given analysis on. So Francis is raising his hand. I don't know what he wants to say. He has been raising his hand since yesterday. Let's hear what Francis wants to ask us based on what we have just discussed. Francis, you can unmute yourself and talk to me.
All right, Mr. Shegun, good morning.
Good morning, Francis.
Yes, he said I should drop on the chat. I dropped his question, but he didn't look at it. What I'm asking, please, is can you give us the parameters you use in setting up parabolic, star, and stochastic?
Well,
The
for parabolic star, it's default. For stochastic, it's also default. I'm going to set them in your presence now. So I'm going to have a clean chart, and then I will click on indicator, and then I will go to trend, and then I'll pick parabolic star, like so. And then I'll just click on OK. So you don't need to change anything, right?
Okay.
You don't need to change anything on parabolic star. Okay, default. The same thing with stochastic, right? So with stochastic also, you don't need to change anything. You don't need to. I'm going to go to stochastic, and then I'll also do OK. So you don't need to change anything. Let me check.
So how does this stochastic work?
Stochastic is simple. I'm coming to visualization. Stochastic is the simplest instrument you can indicator you can use on the screen. So basically, if you're using it on, for example, 1 hour chart like this. So what you do is if price is trending down, like now you're having lower low, right? So anytime you're having lower low and lower high, it means that the price is going down, right? That means the trend is down. That's what it means. So lower low, lower low, lower low. Coming. Okay. Now, apart from the lower low, you're also having lower high, is that not? So it means that, let me also do this one. Lower high, lower low. So the highs are getting lower, so is the lows. They're also getting lower, right? It means that the trend is going down. So for the you now check the down, that's the stochastic part. You check it. The stochastic should also be giving you the same vibe naturally. Okay, lower highs. That's what you should be having. So as long as you're having lower highs and lower lows, especially you'll be feeling you won't even bother much about the lows on stochastic, just bother much about the highs. So as long as the highs are getting lower, it means that you're on the trend. It means that trend is intact. Now you will now do something. So anytime you now see the indicator changing direction, instead of having lower high, it's now having higher high. Okay, while the price is still on lower low, it means that the price is now ready to go down more. Then that's when you enter. I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it much. For example, now, so at this junction, let me remove this one. Let me remove this one. Oh, Control Z. Sorry. Just hold on. I'm gonna put that stochastic back. Stochastic, and then I'll do OK. So now the price is doing lower high. Okay, and the indicator is also doing high that is getting lower. Okay, like that. Yes. But that's as far as that is concerned. But suddenly the indicator begins to change direction. The price is still doing lower high, but the indicator is doing higher high. Can you see it? The indicator is doing higher high. So, but the price is still doing low. So from this region now, from this region on the chart, when the price is beginning to do lower high, the highs are getting lower up to this region. The indicator is doing something different. The indicator is beginning to have higher high. So you will not be waiting for the higher high to continue. So if the higher high crosses above 80, for example, now the stochastic now cross above this level. As it's doing this high, let's say it continues that high. Let's say it's continuing, okay, which is like this one, continue the high like this. So it's still getting higher. So if the high can get as much as this level, can get to this level up, then and the price is still doing lower high, okay, then that's when you enter itself. I would have loved to give you an example because this one is not a clear example. Maybe I can just check with maybe this one. Let's check with this one. Okay. I don't know. Let's check with this one. Okay. I don't know. I think we can just use this one as an example. So we have this is an uptrend, obviously. So we have high, sorry, low. On an uptrend, you'll be looking at the lows of the price. Low, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, lower low. So now the price is doing, let's remove these two. Let's remove these two inside. Let me remove this one and this one inside. So now what we have is higher lows. So eventually you also have, but instead of the higher lows on the, as the price is doing, the indicator is doing lower lows. The indicator is diverging from the price. That's running away from the price. So once the indicator crosses below 20, like in this instance, that's when you initiate a buy, when you have a bull candle. So like now, here is when you would have placed a buy trade. I'm going to put an arrow here on this candle, you would have placed a buy trade. And also when you have a green candle here also, you also place a buy trade. So like now, if you're going to be using this indicator, now is a good time to buy. If you're going to be using this indicator also, if you're going to be using stochastic to trade, now is a good time to place a buy because the indicator is beginning to cross from below 20. Okay. And of course, the indicator was doing lower below. Okay, so this is when you place a buy. But of course, there's a class for this one. It's an advanced class that we can look at different things. So so that you know how to use the oscillator to actually trade. So that's the explanation I can give you on this one. I think your name is Francis. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope you understand that one.
Francis, your friend.
Yeah, thank you very much. So for Olatunde that is asking for B40 recap, I've said it more than 100 times. I said there's no trade on that one at the moment. So there's no need to recapping. There's no trade signal on that one. It's not showing me buy, it's not showing me sell. It's showing me to stay up. I don't know what you want me to recap. Not you, Gary Francis. Thank you very much, Francis. And of course, I think that would be a good place to stop it this morning. I appreciate everybody that's been part of this conversation. And I want to see you all again tomorrow, same time, 8 o'clock in the morning. Of course, we'll continue. So I want to stay green all through. If you see an opportunity to trade, you trade. If there's no opportunity to trade, you stay off, right? Thank you very much, everybody. Of course, I'll see you. Then I'll stop sharing.